Welcome to Vlogmas Day 18.
Everyone knows that Christmas should be white. Bing Crosby got that right. Oh, but I'm in Copacabana, tanning up for Santa. But I'm getting on a plane, a boat, or a train. I'm setting a new course.
So I love to read self-help books, and I definitely have to reduce the amount of books I'm reading in this category for 2021, because I think if you read a self-help book, you really have to go through the exercises and apply it. If you just read through it, it won't change anything. Otherwise, it can be very helpful, and that's kind of the purpose of this video. I want to give you some recommendations what kind of books you could read in 2021 if you want to change certain things in your life. So the first book I want to recommend to actually everybody is The Four Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin. This book has a 4-type model, how people react to inner and outer expectations. Like, I realized I'm a rebel, and it helped me so much to understand my personality and all the quirks that come with it. I find it so helpful to understand other people, and it's super interesting. Some people you can categorize right away, and I just realized that, for example, my boss is a rebel as well, and I understand her so much better now by realizing that. And you also can see how you can influence people and help them to reach their own expectations they have. I find that very useful. Also, in her app Better Me, you can find people with the same type, and I think it's super useful. I'm so thankful for the book and the app. And this is like the first book I would recommend to everyone. Next book I would recommend is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think he came out with that last year or 2019. I actually don't remember, but I think it's the best book on habits. If you want to change habits, if you want to develop new ones, if you want to break habits, this is the most practical guide, very clearly outlined what you have to do to reach that, and he even has an outline of the very important points. And I think this is one of the best books on the market about habits if you look for something very practical, how to implement new habits. Next book is by Brené Brown, Braving the Wilderness, or any kind of like Brené Brown book. She has so many interesting books about vulnerability and putting yourself out there and shame. Like, she's actually a shame researcher. She's also a really good storyteller, and I really love her books, and they're just like a big pep talk to put yourself out there and to face all the feedback you will get, positive and negative. I find her words very, very comforting. The next book is LifeChanging Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, which I probably will read again in springtime because I just love to declutter, and it's so easy to get new things in, especially now for Christmas. I got several things and I got new books, but I still have books here in my shelf that I never have read, and I think they have been sitting here for several years. So it would be nice in the springtime to read through the book again and get help and motivation to tackle your different areas in your home and to go and declutter. The next book is The Lost Art of Listening: How Learning to Listen Can Improve Relationships by Michael Nichols. This book is all about learning to listen and also see the positive things of that. And I think, like, persons like me who like to talk, we can learn a lot of just sitting there and listen and ask the right questions. I never thought you could write a whole book about it, but I remember it was a very insightful book, and I definitely have to read it again. Next one is AntiDiet: Reclaim Your Time, Money, Well-Being and Happiness Through Intuitive Eating by Heisann. Christy Harrison, I actually have an intuitive eating course by her, and she's a journalist but also a dietitian. And if you're interested in all the anti-diet, intuitive eating, body positivity area, I think this book is really nice to understand the history of it. It is not super practical, but it's very detailed in how we actually ended up all going on diets, and she also explains very well why they don't work. And I think this is a really good book for everyone who struggles with eating and wants to stop dieting. Next book is by Carl Newport, Deep Work, and he also has a follow-up book that is called Digital Minimalism, and I think he's even coming out with a new one in March. They all go into the area of learning to do something without distraction, being able to get into flow. He's very critical about all social media, and I think he has really good arguments for that. So if you have troubles to stay concentrated on your work or your studying, I think this book is a really good start. Digital Minimalism is actually a follow-up of this book, because a lot of people said, oh, I would love to do deep work, but I can't because I'm just spending too much time on my phone, for example. And he's also doing an analog January challenge, I think. I will put the details in the description down below. Maybe somebody's interested in that. Then I Need Your Love, Is That True by Byron Katie. This book I gave actually to a friend. I never got it back. So yeah, that's okay. Byron Katie is a very spiritual person, and she's talking about how to stop suffering, because when you stop believing your thoughts, you will stop suffering. That's like her main theory. And in that book, she's talking a lot about how we feel we have to be loved and appreciated and praised and accepted by certain people to feel good about ourselves, and how you can learn through a 4-question process to question that and to relieve yourself from pain. It's probably not for everyone, but I really enjoyed her books and videos, and I think her take on accepting things instead of fighting against them all the time and living in the past can really set you free. I really should do more of her work, I think. Something that goes directly in the same category is Martha Beck and her book Finding Your Own North Star. I was reading this book right after I quit my job, and it was just feeling very much like a confirmation of that I was doing the right thing, and that I wasn't happy with where I was, and that I had to find something else. If you feel a bit lost at the moment, if you feel like you haven't found your purpose or the goal in your life, then I think I would really recommend this book, because I think it can help you so much. There's so many journaling questions and exercises that you should do, and I think it gives you a little bit more an idea where do you actually want to go. The last book I showed you in one of my previous videos, it's by Kristin Neff, Self-Compassion. Stop beating yourself up and leave insecurity behind. And I think a lot of people would need this book, because we are so used to beat ourselves up and to talk negatively to ourselves, and I think we often our worst critic, and we would never talk to a friend like we talk to ourselves. And I think this book is super helpful in understanding that and learning how to change it. And she also has a workbook that you can work together with it, and this is something I'm going to do in February this upcoming year. So there were 10 books that I would recommend reading in 2021, and I hope you're inspired to read one of them, and I will see you tomorrow for day 19. Bye bye.